Okay, so this right here is not the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra, although it does look very similar. This is actually the Samsung Galaxy S26 Plus. Now, if you know me, I'm a big phone guy. I always like going for the bigger sized model of whatever device is out. Like for instance, the Galaxy S26 Ultra, that has been my main phone since it came out. Absolutely love that device. And that phone is actually the phone that is recording this video right now using portrait video mode. So what do y'all think about the video quality on that? But I decided to go ahead and test out the Samsung Galaxy S26 Plus just to kind of see how it compares, to see how I like the overall experience, the size of the phone, because yes, it is a little bit smaller. And I gotta say, the experience with the S26 Plus right here has actually been very nice, but it almost seems like it's kind of like a stripped down, slightly stripped down Galaxy S26 Ultra, if that makes sense. Of course, you know, there's gonna be some specific features that we don't get on the Plus model that are on the Galaxy S26 Ultra, but let's go ahead and talk about it. So starting off with just the overall design, the build, the feel in the hand, you know, I gotta say, this actually has a really nice feel in the hand. If you are not using a case with this device, I mean, just using it naked like this, it feels nice. It's not too big, but it's not too small. It's somewhere in the middle. It's kind of in that sweet spot where it still feels like a big phone, because it is still a big phone, but it's not ultra big, but it's also not small like with the Galaxy S26. It's, like I said, it's kind of that sweet spot. You're still getting a big phone that's not too big, and it still feels good in the hand. It's nice and lightweight. You do have those nice rounded off corners on this, and I love the black color that I have right here. This matte black color looks so nice and sleek, and the color options that we get for this device are actually black like what you see here. We got cobalt violet, which is what I have with my Galaxy S26 Ultra. We got sky blue, white, and then exclusive colors like pink, gold, and silver shadow. But I think this phone looks beautiful. And like I said, it looks like a little or a slightly smaller Galaxy S26 Ultra, of course, just with those, without those, you know, extra, you know, lenses right there, but it looks nice. The new camera setup in the back looks nice as well. And I think Samsung did a great job. Obviously, it's not a huge difference from the looks of last year's model, but I mean, if it ain't broke, why fix it? It's still a beautiful looking device. And I gotta say, it's actually pretty durable. I mean, I don't notice any type of scratches on this device just yet. I've been using it without a case. It is IP68, dust and water resistant as well. So if you happen to accidentally, you know, drop it in the water or get dust on it or whatever, it should still be protected. But overall durability of it, I mean, seems fine to me. Like I said, I don't have any damage that I notice to this device using it naked like this. So not really any problems there. Now, let's talk about the display right here. We are getting a 6.7 inch dynamic AMOLED display. It is a 120 hertz display. So of course we're getting that nice smooth scrolling on this device right here. And that will also come into play when it comes to gaming. But we also get Gorilla Glass Victus 2, which is going to give us some good durability with the display as well, or the screen of this phone. We do have that in-display fingerprint sensor as well, which works great every single time. I have never had a problem with it. So I don't have to, and this is with just adding one. You know, there's a lot of times where I'll add my fingerprints twice to the in-display fingerprint sensor to ensure that it works every single time. But I only added it once to this and it works fast every single time. But definitely a beautiful display that gets nice and bright. Watching content on here is enjoyable. It's great, nice, vibrant colors, a nice sharp display. And some might even say that this display might even look better than the one on the Galaxy S26 Ultra, because of course this does not have the privacy display like the S26 Ultra. So of course, you know, the display might seem a bit more sharper, a bit more colorful, vibrant, a bit more bright. It's not as dim. Me personally, I don't really have a problem with the display on the S26 Ultra, but I know there are a lot who do have issues with it and just don't find it as sharp or, you know, as vibrant or bright as last year's model. So if you're not really feeling the privacy display, then this might be the display for you right here. Like I said, it's bright, it's beautiful. I enjoy watching content on here, whether it's on Disney Plus, Netflix, YouTube. I mean, anything you do on this display, you're gonna have a great experience. And you know, you're getting nice slim bezels all the way around as well. I really don't have any problems with this display. But of course, when doing anything on this display right here, you're going to want it to run good with whatever it is you are doing. Now, the Galaxy S26 Plus right here is powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 processor, which is the same processor that we're getting on all the S26 models. Again, we're getting that 120 hertz display. We get 12 gigabytes of RAM. There is a 256 gigabyte model of storage and a 512 gigabyte model of storage as well. But that Snapdragon processor definitely has this device running like a beast. I mean, just scrolling through the device up and down, side to side, going in and out of different apps when it comes to video editing, whether you're in social media, watching YouTube videos, whatever it is you're doing on this device, it's able to handle it all. I have not had any moments of hiccups or any moments of lag. I mean, it's pretty much handled everything that I have thrown at it. So when it comes to overall just performance here on the S26 Plus, I mean, this device is a beast. Honestly, like it feels like I'm using my Galaxy S26 Ultra. I mean, they perform pretty much identical to each other, just as fast, just as snappy. I mean, they're both, you know, have the same processor in them. So I would expect them both to pretty much run the same. But yeah, I haven't really had any problems when it comes to performance here on the S26 Plus. It's been a great experience. Now we are getting up to 7 years of OS updates and security updates as well, which is great for the longevity of this device. So if you're someone who likes to hold on to your phone, not 1 year, not 2 years, but maybe 3, 4, or 5, or like I said, up to 7 years, you will still be good with the S26 Plus right here. It definitely is going to have a long lifespan. Like I said, up to 7 years of updates with this device right here. So you don't have to worry about, you know, upgrading a year from now or 2 years from now just to make sure your phone is getting the updates that it needs, you know? Now, battery life. The battery life here on the S26 Plus is almost as big as the battery on the Galaxy S26 Ultra. The S26 Ultra has a 5,000 milliamp battery. The S26 Plus right here has a 4,900 milliamp battery. Now, how does that work in the real world? Is it actually lasting me all day? Yeah, surprisingly, the 4,900 milliamp battery does last me all day. I'm averaging around 6 to 7 hours of screen on time, more closer to around 7 hours of screen on time most of the time. But of course, you know, screen on time isn't everything. You got to take into account, you know, when you're talking on the phone or listening to music, you know, using those speakers, or when you're out and about. If you're home on a Wi-Fi connection, your phone is going to last you a lot longer because it's not constantly searching for that 5G or 4G LTE connection. But when you're out and about, it is constantly doing that everywhere you go, especially if you're in a place that it doesn't really have good reception. Then this is definitely going to drain the battery a lot faster because it's trying to reach out and catch those signals for you. So it really depends on how you use your device, where you use your device. That's going to depend on how long your battery is actually going to last you. But with my own experience with S26 Plus right here, battery has actually been pretty good. Of course, it is, you know, powering a smaller display as well than the Galaxy S26 Ultra. Now, one thing that we don't get with the Galaxy S26 Plus right here, aside from the privacy display, you know, when comparing it to the Galaxy S26 Ultra, is the faster charging speeds. With the S26 Ultra, we are getting faster charging speeds. With the Galaxy S26 Plus, we're getting up to 45 watt super fast charging, but I don't even think, me personally, I would call it super fast charging. While it is fast charging, you know, it's faster than 25 watt charging, faster than 15 watt or whatever. It's decent. It's not, you know, the fastest charging speeds I've ever experienced in a smartphone. I've been kind of spoiled, you know, with that with other devices. But I mean, if you're someone who doesn't need a quick charge up all the time, if you're someone who charges your phone overnight every time you go to sleep, it's going to be more than good enough for you. You're not really going to have to worry about it. Like I said, battery life is more than good enough on here to get you through the day. So when you get into the night, just throw it on the charger, you know, have it charge overnight or whatever. You pull it off the charger in the morning and you're good to go. But if you're someone looking for those, you know, speeds of 65 watts and up, 80 watts, 100 watts, whatever, you're not going to find it with the S26 Plus. I mean, you're getting almost 70% of battery life in 30 minutes. So for most people, yeah, I would say that is more than good enough. Now, going to the cameras in the back, of course, this is one important feature for a lot of people because, you know, social media is pretty big these days, I would say, and people are constantly posting on their social media pictures of their food, family, wherever it is they're visiting on vacation, and you want your photos to look good. You want your videos to look good. So how do the cameras on the Galaxy S26 perform? I don't know. Why don't you take a look at all of these photo samples I took and video samples as well. Okay, so here's a quick video test with the front facing camera at 4K 30 frames per second. This is with the sun behind me right there. Woo, it is hot today. Sun is super bright. Even with the sunglasses on, it is still super bright out here. It is hot today. But what do you guys think? I'll go ahead and just do a nice, slow little pan around here first. Also, let me know what you think about, overall microphone quality. We do got some noise from construction going on over there, so let me know how well it's picking up my voice, over that sound. We'll go and do a nice little jog here. Check out stabilization. All handheld. What do y'all think? Let's go and check out the rear facing cameras. So here's a quick video test at 4K 30 frames per second with the rear facing cameras. Just kind of walking nice and slow here at a nice steady pace. Check out stabilization. Could even go into a nice jog here. What do y'all think? Also, again, let me know about microphone quality, because sometimes the microphones can sound different when you're using the rear facing cameras compared to the front facing camera. We do have the ultra wide angle lens as well, if you do want to capture more in your shot. I am in Indio, California. Then we have that 3x telephoto lens right there. What do you think about the detail in that? And then we do have the option to zoom in all the way to 15 times. That is 15 times zoom right there. Back to the main lens. And yeah, what do y'all think? 4K 30 on the rear facing cameras of the Samsung Galaxy S26 Plus. All right, so taking it over to some night footage here, starting out with the front facing camera. As you can see, it is nighttime. Once again, recording at 4K 30 frames per second. Just doing a nice steady walk here so you can check out stabilization. And just looking here on screen, it does look a bit fuzzy, a bit shaky, but of course I won't know exactly what it looks like until I go back and watch the footage. But what do y'all think? I'm going to do a nice slow pan here. Also, let me know what you think about the microphone quality. I know I asked that about the daytime, but who knows? It could sound different in the night. All right, there it is. Some nighttime video with the front facing camera. Just a quick test here. Let's go ahead and check out the rear facing cameras. All right, so taking it over to the rear facing cameras again at night. As you can see here, we got the moon up there coming through the clouds again at 4K 30 frames per second. On screen, it actually looks pretty good. We'll get a nice close-up of this beautiful fountain right here. What do you guys? I notice it looks better when I'm still like this, but when I do start moving, yeah, things do get a little bit fuzzy. But that's been my experience with pretty much any device I use to record video at night in a dark situation like this. Going to pan here. There's absolutely nobody here in this area right now. But what do you guys think? Again, we have the ultra wide angle lens. We got the 3x telephoto lens. And then we can zoom in 15 times. Looking a little bit fuzzy. Take it back to 1. So what do y'all think? Just a quick low light video test here with the Samsung Galaxy S26 Plus. Let me know your thoughts. All right, so what did y'all think about all of the photos that I took and the video that I showed as well? Me personally, I think the cameras on the Galaxy S26 Plus are more than good enough. They're definitely gonna get the job done. As you saw, I was able to get some great shots when it came to photos, whether it was during the day or even at night. Yeah, there were some instances where they probably could have been better, but for the most part, I mean, you're gonna get some great shots on this. And then when it comes to video, video is pretty decent as well. Actually, during the day, I think video is, pretty good, but at night is where it can get, a little bit fuzzy here and there, depending on if there's a lot of movement. Of course, that's kind of the case with any device from my own experience. Obviously, some devices do better than others, but usually when there's a lot of movement during the night or in a dark, scenery, you're gonna get kind of like that fuzzy video where it seems like stabilization is not the best or anything like that. So that's just kind of, something to expect when recording video at night. But I think overall, I think the cameras are gonna get the job done. We're getting a 50 megapixel main wide lens. We're getting a 12 megapixel ultra wide lens, a 10 megapixel 3x telephoto lens, and a 12 megapixel front camera as well. We do have the option to record at 8K. I'm not sure who's gonna be recording videos at 8K, but it is nice if you want to be able to record 8K video and then later you can crop in and still keep a lot of that detail. You will not be losing any detail if you, decide you need to crop in a little bit on that video. Yeah, it's definitely going to take up a lot of storage in your device, but it's crazy that smartphones these days can record 8K video. But overall, the Galaxy S26 Plus, I personally think it is a great phone. Now, is it worth the price? The starting price for the S26 Plus right here is $1,099.99, and that is for the 256 gigabyte model. Then for the 512 gigabyte model, that is going for $1,299.99. So just around $1,300, which is actually the starting price of the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. So at that point, it's like, okay, what phone do I get? If you plan on spending that amount on the Plus right here, you might as well just go for the Galaxy S26 Ultra. Honestly, you're getting a bigger display, bigger battery life, you're getting the new privacy display feature, you're getting S Pen compatibility as well, or a built-in S Pen, I should say. You're gonna get the better device with the Galaxy S26 Ultra. Now, I'm not sure if that's what Samsung was kind of planning with this here, to make people feel like, okay, well, if this device is this much, I might as well just get the other one, get the bigger one, pay a little bit more to get that one. I really don't know. But what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comment sections below. Honestly, if it were me and I was out looking at devices between the S26, S26 Plus, and S26 Ultra, if the Plus is what I had my eye on just because I felt, the size was great and everything else about it was good enough for me, I didn't really care about the S Pen, but I looked at the price and saw that it's pretty close to the Galaxy S26 Ultra, I would probably just end up getting S26 Ultra. But that's just me, to be honest. But again, you do have to think about as well, for the 512 gigabyte model, yes, it's the same price as the starting price of the Galaxy S26 Ultra, but that starting price for the S26 Ultra is only for the 256 gigabyte model. So you are going to get lower storage as well. So that is also something to think about. But I would love to know your guys' thoughts down in the comment sections below. Overall, S26 Plus, regardless, still a great device. It's been, honestly, it's kind of nice to have a device that's slightly smaller than the S26 Ultra. It's definitely easier to use one-handed and carry it around one-handed if it's a little bit better in the pocket, in the bag. But again, leave your comments down in the comment sections below. If you did like this video and find it helpful, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any other future videos to come. Thanks for watching. This is Josh Quinones. I will see you on the next one. Peace out.